I am thrilled to introduce to you our Barley Queen, the one and the only Miss Maritoni Fernandez. Yes, virtual
Amazing
clap.
morning, everyone! Naku, pumipiyok ako. Diyos ko, ano ba yun? Hi there, everyone! It's good to see you, and I hope you're all doing well ngayon COVID times. I know it's unusual times, pero believe me, if you take your barley every day, you have nothing to worry about. That I
Tama
can
po.
guarantee. I came on today because I really, really want to share the amazing benefits of our amazing pure organic barley. Alam nyo naman that I am a 20-year breast cancer survivor. I was first diagnosed in 2001 with ductal carcinoma in situ on my right breast, stage 2. And during that time, I really thought that my life was siguro at the most 6 months left to live. Yun ang sabi ng mga doctor sa akin at that time. Thankfully, during the time that I went through my chemo and radiation therapy, I discovered our amazing barley. And even my doctors are shocked at how my own body recovered. During my first chemo, I was bedridden for more than 21 days. Literally had to be carried to the banyo just to go and make wee-wee or to take a shower. Talagang napaka-imposible. But after I discovered barley, I snuck it into the hospital. Bawal kasi. Pero I believe that knowledge is power, and I really studied everything that I could about my sickness during that time. Nabasa ko at napanood ko sa lahat ng mga videos online na natural, 100% natural naman ang barley. So, hindi siya pwedeng kumontra sa mga chemotherapy drugs na ini-infuse into my body. And just so you can see, I have my scar here from where I had my port put in. Dito nila dinadaan at the time lahat ng chemotherapy, radiation therapy. And during that time, I was told that I should just be strictly adhering to what the doctors told me, which was strict chemotherapy only, and then 6 weeks of strict radiation therapy. But because I really believe that God does not make mistakes, I read about the barley and I decided to try it, even though it was against my doctor's advice. So ang ginagawa ko noon is I would stow it away, padadala ko siya sa ospital, and pag walang nakatingin, iniinom ko. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. Everything that I share with you today will be purely my own personal experience and my own personal testimony, which I believe is very powerful because since the time that I was cured and I had survived my cancer 20 years ago, there hasn't been a single negative thing that I have experienced by taking our amazing barley every single day. I'm really sharing what I personally have experienced from my own journey with cancer. So let me try to share a little bit. 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 2 cancer. I had 4 rounds of chemotherapy and 6 weeks of radiation therapy. After my first chemo, I felt like I was going to die, not because of my cancer, but because of the chemotherapy. So I decided that I would do some research of my own and that I would find out how to help my body recover. The reason why I was feeling so weak and feeling like I was dying was because the chemotherapy that they put inside my body was so strong that it literally wiped out all the white blood cells in my body. At alam naman natin na ang white blood cells is equivalent to our immunity. So kung wala kang white blood cells, wala kang immunity. So kung wala kang immunity, sobrang bagsak ng katawan mo. And the smallest little thing, like somebody walking in with a cough or sipon, can literally kill me. So what the doctors did was they put me in reverse isolation. And as a result, I could not see anyone. I couldn't talk to anyone. except for my doctor and my nurses. And luckily, my doctor allowed me to have a laptop inside of my hospital room. And that's when I decided to take matters into my own hands. And I did all the research that you can imagine a person can research in the span of 9 months, which was the entire time that I was um, in under chemotherapy. So during that time, I discovered many beautiful, amazing products. But out of all of them, the king of all products that I discovered, or the king of all herbs, as we say here in the Philippines, is barley. And so, nag-research po talaga ako about all the benefits. There are so many benefits of barley that I cannot even spend just maybe 2 hours explaining it all to you. So I suggest what you do is you just Google online the benefits of young barley powder and you will see it all there. Basta, all I can share with you right now is I was at the point where the doctors gave me 6 months to live. I started taking barley every single day. After my first chemotherapy session, which took mga 24 to 25 days to recover, on my second chemo, I decided to take the barley right away. And 4 days after taking my second chemo, I was completely okay. After my first chemo, almost 24 days, I was bedridden. After my second chemo, okay, I took the barley and immediately, 4 days later, I was completely normal already. I could go to the bathroom on my own. I started cooking my own food already. Everything was back to normal. So I inquired, did they lower the dose of my second chemo? No, they did not. They cannot, because once you have a standard, what do they call it, protocol, they have to stick to that. And the protocol that they gave me was enough chemotherapy for a 300-pound man. Why so much? Because I was so young. I was only 30, turning 31 at the time. And the doctors were very scared that the cancer that I had was a very aggressive kind of cancer. The younger you are, the more aggressive cancer is, simply because your cells are regenerating much faster when you're younger. That's why it's a double-edged sword. Kumbaga, mabilis kang ma-cure dahil bata ka pa, so you'll recover faster. Pero mas mabilis din mag-reproduce ang cancer cells. So the tendency for death is quicker. So in turn, they have to be very aggressive with how they treat your cancer. Now, what were the first signs that I saw? After taking my barley, the first sign that I saw was I would not be constipated anymore. Alam ko marami tayong mga kababayan na sobrang constipated. Nakakahiyaman sabihin, minsan yung iba, 5 days na hindi nakakapagbanyo. Don't worry. Hindi kayo abnormal. A lot of times, that's just a lack of exercise. So there's not enough blood flow in your system. Sometimes it's not enough water. But through the years, what happens is your body starts to slow down. And instead of being able to go to the bathroom regularly, nasa stuck up sa katawan ninyo. The first thing that the barley does is it completely heals that system of yours. You're able to go to the bathroom more regularly. After mga siguro 3 weeks pa lang of drinking your barley regularly, makikita nyo na the big difference in your habits of going to the banyo. The next thing that you will notice is your sleep pattern. A lot of people have a hard time sleeping. What do I mean by that? Minsan, nakatitig ka sa wall, di ba, 2:00, 3:00 na ng umaga, nakahiga ka naman, nakapatay na lahat ng ilaw, pero hindi ka pa rin makatulog. That's the second thing that you will notice, that you will sleep better in the evenings. You will get full rest every night, and you will wake up in the morning feeling more energetic. These are the basic things that barley will do in improving your well-being. Especially now that it is COVID times. A lot of us, we're so uncertain about the future. We don't really know what's going to happen. Kailan ba magkaka-cure? Babalik pa ba tayo sa normal? Or ito na ba ang bagong normal? maraming nawawala ng hanap buhay, marami sa atin takot na magkasakit or mahawaan ng kung sino man. All I can tell you is that the barley somehow gives you that peace of mind. How does it give you peace of mind? It makes you realize na, whatever happens in the future, God is in control naman di ba? At saka basta okay yung health natin, we're doing the protocols, which is wear your mask, wear a shield kung pupunta kayo sa mega crowded areas, wear gloves, and if you cannot wear gloves, wash your hands every hour. O man, sige, pagbaon kayo ng safeguard para lang meron kayong sariling meron kayong sariling sabon pag lumalabas ng bahay. I think better to be overprotected than underprotected, and of course, drink your barley 3 times a day. Kung dati 1 time a day lang during normal times, like I said, it is abnormal times, so always try to do things exaggeratedly, including drinking your barley, because that builds your immunity like nothing else you can imagine. Is there going to be a cure soon? I doubt it very much. I don't think so. I think personally that COVID or this kind of virus is here to stay. It's not the first, it won't be the last. And so the only way to really protect yourself is to build your immunity. So let's go back a little bit to what happened to me. After I was diagnosed with cancer, and my doctors told me that I had to have 4 rounds of chemo. On my second round, I started taking my barley. The first 2 things that I mentioned to you already is improvement of sleep and improvement of bowel movements. One thing that chemotherapy does also to your body is it kills off all the healthy cells, not just the cancer cells. So my hair started to fall off, my nails started to get gray, and of course, I started to lose a lot of weight. I was very scared and worried. But for some reason, after I started taking the barley, I was able to sleep better. I was able to recover from the chemotherapy side effects almost immediately. 4 days after, I was already back on my feet. It gives you a sense of well-being. It allows you to start doing mild exercise, kahit 30-minute walk lang, which before I started taking my barley, I was not able to do because I was really feeling very ill from the chemotherapy side effects. Aside from that, as I was slowly recovering, there are many things that I discovered that barley does. Number one, my doctors told me in the US that I would never have children again because after chemotherapy, my ovaries would shut down. It's true, they did. They shut down. And for 3 years, my period stopped. And I really thought, menopause na yun. That's it. I can't have kids anymore. But I drank it every single day. And after 3 years, my period returned. So after 3 years, amazingly, I was able to have my son, Liam, who is now 15 years old. Imagine being told you can never have kids again. And then all of a sudden, you get a second chance at having another child. So how did that happen? Even my doctors were in shock. When I called my doctors and I told them that I was pregnant, when I called them and I told them that I was going to have another child, they actually congratulated me and told me that they were so happy for me that I decided to adopt. That's when I told them that I wasn't adopting, that it was a natural pregnancy. And they were a little bit baffled. They were like shocked, saying, how's that possible? And everything. But I think that what barley does really is it repairs your system, your entire body and how it runs. And we all know that our bodies are made by God. So I think that's why our bodies have the ability to heal itself as long as we give it the proper nutrition that it needs. And well, we all know that barley is the most complete food there is in terms of nutrition that there is in the whole world. I am actually reading several books right now on the benefits of barley and what it is about barley that makes it so amazing. Of course, ako alam ko na yung first hand from my own personal experience what those are in terms of my life. Pero when you read about other people's experiences online or yung mga testimony din ng ibang tao with regard to barley, ma-amaze talaga kayo because ang dami. There's so many out there that it cannot be a mistake. And I also truly believe God doesn't make mistakes. So that is why it has become my passion to share the benefits of this amazing product. When I first got back in 2001, after my almost 1 year bout with cancer, I felt stronger. I felt like I looked better, healthier than I did even before I had cancer, which is really saying something because I think that when you go through something as difficult a journey as cancer, the way that I did, most people come out of it quite shaken. 'Di ba? You feel like you need time to recover physically, mentally. Uh, the way you look is very different. But with me, it was completely the opposite. I felt like I looked and felt better and stronger. And as I did more research through the years, I realized it's really because of the properties that are in the barley that I am so blessed to have discovered even during the time that I was battling cancer. After that, I decided made the decision that I would make it um, something that I would want to share with the rest of the world. Since it helped me recover, I believe that there's something in it that will help many other people in this world. And I hope that everyone listening tonight will at least give it a try because, I don't, like I said earlier, I don't think things happen by accident. I think that if you're listening to my testimony tonight, there must be a reason. And I also believe that the Lord doesn't make mistakes. And if you look it up in the Bible, how many times does the Lord actually mention barley, even in the Bible? So if even during that time, even during God's time, people were already taking barley, imagine how much benefits there must be in it. I mean, isn't that during the time that people built the Egyptian pyramids? And everybody did it by manual, as in there were no machines. Everything was done by humans on their own, and yet they were able to have the strength to do such amazing things that even in today's society and today's time, we still find it so amazing to see those things that they built during God's time, during Pharaoh's time. So let me talk a little bit more about barley and some of the benefits that I have discovered about it. Okay, first of all, we have a lot of testimonial letters, but I'll read a few. There are some for regular stuff like asthma and eczema. I know that a lot of Filipinos suffer through asthma, and I picked asthma tonight because I know that COVID during this time is very scary, especially for asthmatics, because people who have asthma have weak lungs already to begin with. So if you have weak lungs, how you might be asking yourself, how can barley help my weak lungs? Well, there is a testimony here that I will read to you. It is from Miss Michiko Nogami. She's 17 years old and she lives in Takamatsu City in Japan. And she says, I'm 17 years old. I've been suffering from asthma since childhood and also frequently from eczema. Eczema is a skin disease. I've made many visits to my asthma clinic with little benefit. Then I heard of barley and immediately tried it. After taking it a little more than 1 month, I found myself free of eczema. I also noticed that the attacks of asthma were reduced, and even when I had an attack, the symptoms were much milder. After taking Amazing Barley for 6 months, I scarcely have any attacks and I find my skin has become increasingly beautiful. I can't believe what has happened. These are just um, some of the testimonies that we have. So, getting back to what we were talking about kanina, there are a lot of benefits of barley, like I said, no? I mentioned asthma kanina and eczema because those are lung conditions, and right now, one of the scariest things is to end up with COVID when you have a lung condition. Kasi alam naman natin that flu is the first place that COVID attacks is your lungs. So anyway, that's why I was suggesting that you take barley talaga every day. Because if you take that, then your immunity goes up and you have less chances of catching any virus at all. Um, Let me see what else. Okay, when I was diagnosed with cancer, my doctors told me that I would never have kids again. And yet, 3 years later, I had my son Liam. They also told me that I would have a really difficult time with a lot of other areas in my life. Like, for example, I would not be able to do sports the way that I did prior to having cancer. And yet, all of you who follow me on Instagram, Maritoni.Fernandez, know that I'm very active. In fact, I'm 51 years old and I apparently yung coach ko sa gym before lockdown, he used to tell me na I'm stronger pa than a lot of people who are in their 20s who go to the gym. So what would I attribute that to other than, of course, the fact that the only thing naman different that I do that other people my age probably don't do is I drink our amazing barley every day. A lot of the people that have tried the barley who have PCOS, nahihil po yan, nawawala. So, I really believe that if you try it, walang mawawala sa inyo and you might just be surprised. Now, there are many things people ask me about our products, such as bakit sa box natin, let me show you. These are old boxes, but let me show you the box. No, in the side of the box, there's the nutritional facts. Okay? And bakit daw sa nutritional facts natin, halos zero lahat? Now, I have to explain that now because the reason is, in the Philippines, yung CPR natin dito, when you apply for a CPR in the Philippines, they base it on the equivalent of calories that a person average age 19 to something, I think 19 to 30, average calorie intake per day of that person should be a minimum of 2,500 calories. Now, because our barley is only 3 sachets, this is based on a 2,500 calorie intake. So, syempre, kung based sa 2,500 calorie intake, talagang magiging zero lahat ng lalabas dito. But, if you go online, it will tell you all the benefits talaga of the barley, which is really, in a nutshell, like this. Okay? I am going to take a picture of this and so that you can all see it. It is actually in it's online, all the benefits and the equivalent of what, for example, green barley is equivalent, ang equivalent niya, okay? Green barley has 45.2% protein, 3.2% lipids, and 23% carbs compared to, okay, like for example, let me choose a good one. Spinach, raw spinach. Alam naman natin, spinach is very high in iron. Pero tignan nyo ha, ang protein count ng spinach, which is green leafy vegetable, is only 3%. Ang protein count ng barley is 45.2%. Okay? So, these are based on per 100 grams of barley. That's why I keep saying it's important for you to take your barley at least 3 times a day. Why? For you to maximize the benefit of the nutritional content of our barley. 1 sachet is 3 grams. The 3 grams equivalent is already what we advertise in I Am. Diba yung sinasabi nilang equivalent to 12 glasses of milk, how many oranges for vitamin C, all of that. But there are many things that we are not allowed to claim because of BFAD in the Philippines. They're very strict. However, for example, we have zinc in our barley. 3 grams of zinc equivalent to 7.33% zinc. That is a lot of zinc. The rest has, meron tayong niacin, calcium, magnesium, iron, what else? Let me see. We have folic acid, we have vitamin B1, B2, B6, vitamin C, vitamin E, biotin, we have chlorophyll, we have folic acid, pantothenic acid. Ang dami po talagang mga, yung iba nga dito, hindi na nailalagay sa mga multivitamins, which are all in our barley. So, here, let me try to read a few other things for you. Barley contains every vitamin except vitamin D, which, as you know, comes from the sun. So, even if you take vitamin D as a mineral or as a supplement, it does not stay in your system for very long. The best way to get vitamin D is through sunlight. That's why they keep saying 10 minutes of sunlight a day, especially during COVID times, will do you a lot of good. Most minerals, especially calcium, and all essential and non-essential amino acids are all available in their natural, easily absorbable forms in our barley. 19 amino acids are found in our barley grass, including all 8 of the essential amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, which are essential for continual cell building, regeneration, as well as energy production, immune function, and detoxification. Barley grass is actually about 26% protein, which is approximately the same amount of protein found in the same quantity of lean beef. So alam naman natin, when a lot of people, when they eat a lot of lean beef, there's a lot of side effects. Nakaka-high blood, okay, number one. Also, number two, beef is very hard to digest. In fact, there are studies that say if you eat a steak, it takes 1 week before your body can completely digest it and it is excreted from your body. Imagine 1 week when our barley actually has pretty much the same amount of protein that you would get in the same amount of lean beef. Barley also contains a number of living enzymes and flavonoids that function as potent free radical scavengers. So ano po yun? These compounds make barley grass a great nutritional supplement that provides antioxidant and anti-inflammatory nutrients. In fact, some studies show that barley grass may be very beneficial nutritionally for many health problems such as ulcers, cholesterol, and even cancer. Meron akong nabasa kanina. It was listing all the things that are amazing in our barley. Here, pharmacological effects of barley. Um, Number one, infants are subject to diabetes. Did you know that? So you have to give your barley even to infants. Luckily for us, our barley is available at with choco. So kids actually enjoy it. A lot of them even enjoy the pure barley. Pag sinanay nyo kasi yung mga baby, hindi naman sila pihikan sa lasa. It's when they grow up and they discover that sugar is so delicious that it changes their sense of palate and it makes them want to crave sugar. But I'm telling you, the less sugar you have in your system, the more healthy it is. In fact, sugar is so bad that it actually feeds cancer cells. That's how bad it is. Now, can I say that I don't take sugar? No, I still take sugar. Normal lang po, tao, lahat po tayo. I love to have chocolate sometimes. But as much as possible, if I want to take something sweet, I try to take pure honey in its place. Okay? Some of the things I discovered, cerebral hemorrhage, heart and liver troubles can be effectively prevented by barley grass. This was very, very interesting. because apparently the high volume of potassium is what prevents it. What else? Case studies in which um, barley is so effective for your cardiac uh, situations. Because if you have a heart problem, normally they give you a lot of drugs for it. Apparently, um, the potassium, again, in the barley prevents heart problems. In fact, so much so that the FDA in the US has approved barley for preventing heart disease. And you can actually Google that, it's online, which is very interesting kasi sobrang strict ng Food and Drug Administration sa US, and yet they came out approving that as something that barley can actually prevent. Um, okay, as I said earlier, it prevents diabetes, renal disease. Um, it increases your metabolic rate, so it's very good for people who want to stay slim. It prevents pancreatitis. It normalizes your gastric juices, so it prevents ulcers. Ang dami-dami pa po talaga ng mga benefits ng barley natin. But like I said, anything that you want to know is online. All I can tell you is what it has done for me. And in fact, it's done so much even for my own family. My stepdad is actually a diabetic. And when I first started to introduce barley to him, he rejected it. He said, ang sabi niya sa akin, ako, ano na naman yan? Hindi ako naniniwala sa mga supplement. Naniniwala lang daw siya sa doktor dahil the doctors have studied many, many years, and he only trusts the doctors and nothing organic. So I told him, well, Dad, why? And sabi niya, because dahon lang yan, wala nang madudulot ang dahon sa katawan ko. Kung gulay na lang ang kakainin ko, finished. So my argument was very simple. Kung gulay din lang naman, at alam naman natin lahat na gulay is good for you, ba't hindi mo subukan? May mawawala ba? So eventually, my mom, siya yung nagbubudbud ng barley sa pagkain ng dad ko, kahit di alam ng dad ko. After 3 months, nagpa-check up siya, and his blood sugar had already normalized to the point where he didn't need to inject himself with insulin anymore. And of course, ang nakakatawa dun is kinlaim niya as his own good behavior, which was the reason as to why he didn't need to take his insulin shots anymore. So he said, tignan nyo, ang galing-galing ko because I'm walking regularly, exercising normally, like regularly more than the average person. He's now completely okay. That's when my mom told him that he has been taking our barley for 3 months straight, and he didn't know. And he was so shocked to the point where naniwala na siya, and ever since, he takes our barley regularly. My mom is another case. Her body is weird. Her body produces bad cholesterol on its own. Hindi niya yung bad cholesterol, pero nag-produce yung katawan niya ng bad cholesterol on its own. Shocking talaga. So I told her, why don't you try the barley, Mom? And to the point where her doctor was so scared, she was taking some medication every single day. Na if she forgot it, literally walking time bomb daw siya. As in, anytime she could have a massive stroke because of her cholesterol levels. So she started taking the barley, and after 3 months, again, we went back to the hospital. She got her blood work done, and shockingly, her cholesterol count is better than mine, which is talagang wow. Kasi considering how bad it was before, I was so shocked na it really was so helpful for her. Aside from that, of course, I have many, many other more testimonies. Even in I Am itself, ang dami po nating testimonies dyan. And I know that we will have many more. And, to be honest with you, I'm not promoting going out, especially in these times. Pero, hindi naman siguro posible na kahit during COVID times and nakakulong ka lang sa bahay, at some point we are going to have to go out, correct? And if we have to go out, wouldn't you be more secure knowing that your immunity is at its peak? Wouldn't you feel more secure knowing na you've done everything you can to help yourself fight whatever is out there, so that in case you need to go, I don't know, to the supermarket, to the drugstore, to maybe to the clinic for a checkup or blood work or whatever, na kahit na meron mang taong infected around you, eh meron kang protection for yourself. Now, this is the reason why we decided to um, bring this amazing product to I Am Worldwide and to all our distributors and members. And naniniwala kasi ako very much deep in my heart na kapag ikaw tinulungan ni Lord, ang kapalit nun is dapat tumulong ka rin sa mga kapwa mo. And I think that that's why it has become my advocacy to share about this amazing product from the time that I was healed from my own cancer journey, which is not easy. And I really, really, my heart goes out to people who are battling cancer every single day, because I personally know how difficult and trying it is. Kasi kahit na maraming nagmamahal sa iyo sa paligid mo, kahit na um, kahit na nandyan na yung mga doktor na magagaling and everything, kahit nagawa mo na lahat, at the end of the day, it is really a battle that only God has with you. It is a very personal journey that you will take. It's a very lonely journey. And at the end of the day, um, I think that knowing that you have the partner of the Lord and that you have an amazing product that is really going to help you with lessening all the side effects out there and building your immunity to such a point that you don't really feel all the side effects that you would feel otherwise is really a blessing in this life, in this journey, especially with cancer. But having said that, kung cancer kaya ng barley, ano pa kaya yung mga hindi kasing lala? Yun ang lagi kong sinasabi. So, why wait until you're sick before taking it? If I were you, please take it already. Why, the saying, prevention is better than cure, it is so true. It's so true because kung may sakit ka na, tsaka ka lang magbabarley, baka 50-50 lang ang chance mo na malutas ng barley yung sakit mo. But if you're already taking barley every single day before you're even sick, then your body has already built up the immunity so that if you do get sick, meron kang panlaban. So I think, having said that, I have to tell you that our barley definitely is the best in the world. It comes from Australia, where we are the sole distributors for the barley that comes from there. Wala na pong ibang kumpanya na makakakuha ng barley from Australia dahil isa lang po ang farm sa Australia, and we have exclusivity with that farm. I'm very proud to say. So why is it the best in the world? Simply because it has the best weather, the best soil, and the best water. And you know that those are the three things that it takes to make the best of anything that grows on earth. And I praise God and I thank Him every day that this is something that this advocacy has grown to a point where it has helped so many people. And I pray that it continues to help many. So if you're already a member, I I plead with you to please tell more people about it, especially during this time. Because ang dami po natin matutulungan. Hindi lang po sa health, kung hindi pati sa wealth. Alam nyo naman po yun. Dahil our marketing plan in I Am Worldwide is like no other companies in the Philippines. In fact, we are worldwide. So, we are doing so well internationally also, simply because our marketing plan is really amazing, even abroad. We are, what makes a company amazing is the people. And we have amazing people in this company. Not only do we have amazing people who are God fearing, we also have products that are really, really wonderful products that are not just there to make money. Our products are there to help people. And we know that at the end of the day, marami tayong competition. Um, I guess our edge is always going to be the integrity of our company, the integrity of knowing that for you guys, you know that you have your personal barley queen. And I will always be here to share my testimony and my experiences with regards to our amazing products. I have a personal relationship with the owners of I Am Worldwide, which is why I am always and always will be a part of this amazing company. I love you guys, and I really pray for your continued good health and well-being. And sana lahat po tayo, lahat ng mga pamilya natin, makasurvive ng difficult trials that we're going through right now. Um, so I think that's the end muna for now of our talk, but I'm willing to take questions because I know there's several that are going to be asked. Keep in mind, again, I'm not a doctor. So please, when you ask questions like, pwede po ba yan sa certain sickness? Hindi lahat po ng sickness alam ko. So it is best for you to still do your own research. Like me, I was a patient once. I was a cancer patient. And I was just as wala po akong alam tungkol sa barley at that time. And everything that I do know is something that I learned from my own research, my own wanting to learn more about my own sickness, because I truly believe that knowledge is power. So I wish you all well. And again, the few things I will mention about barley is you are to take it 30 minutes before meals, preferably. At the very least 20. Dapat pag 20 minutes, nagawa mo na, inumin mo bago mag 20 minutes are up. Otherwise, useless na yung barley natin. Parang uminom ka na lang ng tubig because the enzymes are alive. The minute that you put it in water, our barley it's planted, harvested, and told basically in Australia. It's brought here and we repack it locally, but we don't add anything to it. It is exactly as it is shipped from Australia directly to us. So whatever you get in these boxes are exactly what we get from our Australian partners. What else do I need to say? Yes, our barley color and taste changes only because of the temperature at the time that it is harvested. Like wine, every year wine tastes differently from different vineyards. So it's the same thing in our barley, although it is only from one farm. Some years our the sun is strong in Australia. Some years the sun isn't as strong. Some years the soil is very wet. Other years the soil is not as wet. So the color and the taste of our barley will always not always be the same. Just because the color isn't bright green doesn't mean it's not good. Our barley actually has no expiration, to be honest. But to follow our FDA protocols here in the Philippines, we put a 2-year lifespan on our boxes. What else? Yes, it's safe for all ages. In fact, if you Google it, it will tell you that it helps in brain development even in children. So, other than that, do not mix barley with our barley grass with pineapple juice. But other than pineapple juice, you can mix it with almost anything you want. What else? Let's see. I think it's time that we take some Q&A. You think? We're
Hi,
right
Miss
now.
Maritoni. Thank you. Yeah. Actually, I've
Do you have a
took some
few
notes
ready for
din.
me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mga nabasa din ako dito from the comments, no. Meron dito from Sabel Serrano. She mentioned na cancer patient na siya. Tapos
Yes.
nag-go din siya ng chemo. Nagugulat sa kanya yung doctor niya kasi parang hindi daw siya mukhang pasyente. Dahil nag-take siya ng barley daw. So parang
Oo.
1 hour lang yung rest niya after chemo, parang normal na agad sa kanya lahat. Yes.
Yes.
And we have some couple of questions here, Miss Maritoni. May nagtanong
Okay.
dito about hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. Ano daw po yung effect
It is
ng
it is
barley?
fine to take our barley even if you have hyperthyroidism. The only
Ah,
product of ours that you cannot take if you have goiter or thyroid is our Garcinia.
I
That has
see.
the opposite effect. Okay, so with regard to our barley, it's actually wala naman talagang bawal sa barley. You know, a lot of people were saying, what about if I am a, what do they call it, yung may liver problems
Yeah.
or anong tawag nila doon, yung nagre-recycle ng blood when you have
Dialysis.
dialysis, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people were asking me about that. I actually researched about it because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many people asking. It is actually better that you take barley when
Mm-hmm.
you are going through dialysis because apparently when you go through dialysis, the blood is cleaned, diba?
Mm-hmm.
So pag nilinis yung dugo mo, there are nutrients that are lost during that process and the nutrition in the barley replaces that. So it's very good for you during even dialysis.
So mas kailangan palang barley pag
Mas kailangan
nagda-dialysis
pa.
pala. Oo.
Yes.
So
Pag
kahit eto
nagda-dialysis.
may nag-mention din about cerebral palsy and hernia.
Cerebral, yeah.
Yeah,
Cerebral palsy.
so
That's when half your face collapses because of the muscle.
muscle,
Yes.
yeah. So it's
That,
better than if they take
yes,
barley
of
then.
course, definitely. Because,
I
you know, Stephen, I have to explain. What barley does, it repairs the cells. Okay, so
mm-hmm.
it helps in regenerating everything that is already um, deteriorating because of age, because of environment, because of habits. We have very bad habits, like a lot of people smoke, right? And if you smoke, you're basically depleting the vitamin C in your body automatically, okay? Because when you smoke, it's toxins that you're putting into your system. So what barley does is it contradicts everything negative that you're doing to your system by smoking. In fact, so much so that eventually, after a few years of taking our barley, yung habit nawawala.
Nawawala.
Why? Because your body can no longer accept something good with something bad.
I
It
see.
will choose the good over the bad. Have you ever, ito na lang di ba, have you ever smoked, Stephen, in
Yes
your
po.
life?
So socially, when I
Okay.
feel social, I smoke.
Okay, so you smoke. And then, when you haven't smoked for a long time, your first puff, how do you feel?
Parang ang pangit ng
Parang you
lasa.
wanna throw up, di ba? Parang you
Yes po.
wanna puke, di ba?
Ah,
Now, that is the same effect your body will have eventually if you keep drinking barley. Every time you pick up a cigarette, you're gonna feel that way. And it won't be just at the beginning. It will be every time you pick up that cigarette. Which is
I see.
because your body no longer, it is rejecting the bad, and the
Mhm.
natural reaction is to not want it. So because you don't want it anymore, it helps you in quitting.
Meron dito, Miss Maritoni, mga chain smokers dati. Then they joined
Ayan.
again. Tapos nawala na. Nawala na
Oh,
yung
see?
smoking
Hindi
habits
talaga,
nila.
you
Siguro
cannot
dahil they
eh.
take,
Yeah,
oo nga
it's
po.
a natural process of your body's healing. Kasi if you
Ah,
drink barley all the time, your body is healing. And if it's
mm,
healing, it will start to reject what makes it bad. What is a bad thing for your body.
I see. Yun pala yun. I think
Yeah.
may mga questions pa po dito. Siguro
Okay.
we can choose mga 5. Okay po ba yan?
Yeah, go ahead na. Go ahead.
Alright. So, i-show na lang siguro ayan. Question po. Good evening, Miss Maritoni. Yung friend ng isang FB friend ko, nag-undergo ng surgery sa gallbladder. Pero ngayon, minsan nakakaranas siya ng bloody bowel.
Bowel.
Like, oh,
When
bowel
she's
pala.
stressed or
Like when she's
nakakain.
stressed or nakakakain ng bawal sa kanya, pwede daw po ba mag-take ng barley?
Yes, pwede. Definitely mag-take ng barley. Okay? Pero ang suggestion ko din, regular siya mag-take para mawala din yung kanyang mga cravings for unhealthy food. Because our system works like this, okay? When we eat food that is incomplete in nutrition, our body will still look for food to complete that nutrition. Ang nangyayari, we get cravings. Okay?
Yeah.
So Steven, when you're craving for something, it means your body is lacking in certain nutritional value. And tendency is when your body is craving and it's lacking in certain nutritional values, the first thing you will do is grab what is around. Okay? So what is around? Normally, what is around is
Junk
unhealthy
food.
food. Chips, di ba? Chocolates, candy, mga chichirya, mga cake, mga whatever's in the fridge, that's instant. Okay? So how does barley help? Barley helps because in one sachet of barley, you get all the nutrition that your body requires. So if you are getting all the nutrition that your body requires, your body will no longer have cravings. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
So it's like, for example, you need in your body A to Z. Okay? But when you eat, say, caldereta, okay? In caldereta, you get your protein a little bit, you get a little bit of carbs, you get sodium, but you don't really get a lot of fiber, correct? And what vitamins do you get? Once food is cooked kasi, almost all enzymes die. Okay? Because enzymes cannot live in heat.
Heat.
Okay? It cannot. It's dead. That's why enzymes are normally received from fresh vegetables and fresh fruits. Okay? Now, fruits, however, are very high in sugar. Okay? Fructose, sucrose, those are all from fruits. People say, ay, madalas naman ako magprutas. I'll go on a fruit diet. Okay, mag-juice na lang ako. Mag-juicing ako. Okay? Ang sanay ng tao mag-juicing. Di ba yung may machine na sobrang mahal? Tatanggalin lang.
Nutri plus something.
Okay, so mag-juicing ka. The problem with juicing is, ang natitira is 90% sugar. Okay? Where did all the fiber go? You removed all the fiber when you squished out the juice. Okay? This is, a lot of people don't understand this. I am a cancer survivor. Most people wonder, ba't hindi ka nag-juicing? Okay? Hindi ako nag-juicing because it is proven already that everything that our body requires is in barley. Bakit pa ako mag-juicing? Ayan na yung juice ko. Ready na, available in sachet form. Okay? Masarap. Kung masarap, fresh, sa fresh. Pero, yung juicing is so high in sugar, Stephen. And even if you say, gulay naman lahat ng nilalagay ko eh. Kaya hindi naman ako nagpo-fruits. Ano lang yan, nilalagay ko carrots, celery, kung ano-ano. Those also contain sugar. Everything contains sugar. Natural sugar, yes, but still sugar nonetheless. Okay? And if you're going to take that much sugar without the fiber, that's not good. The good thing about our product is, yes, meron pa rin tayong, there's natural sugar in barley grass. Like I said, there's natural sugar in everything. But our sugar is very low and our fiber and other nutritional values are very high. So it's just a matter of picking which is best for your body. So kung complete ang nutrition na required ng katawan mo at nakukuha mo naman yon sa barley natin, hindi ka mag-crave ng bad things. Okay? Next.
Alright. Ayun, at least na-clear. Tsaka kaya pala Miss Maritoni nabawas sa hot water.
Yes, that's why I say no boiling. Diba? I always say, no boiling water. Diba marami yung kettle and then ilalagay mo. Ayun, boiling yun eh. Okay? Maiinom mo ba yun kung boiling, Stephen?
Hindi po. Tsaka yung enzyme mamamatay.
Hindi. Ang tanong ko lang is, bakit ka magpapaboil ng tubig? May inom mo ba yun ng boiling? Hindi. So, ang gawin mo na lang, kung meron kang hot pot or hot water jug na may boiling, pour it into a cup, iwan mo muna. Leave it
Okay.
out until it has cooled down. Okay? If it's cooled down, kahit sabihin mo mga 60% cooled, then you put in your sachet. Pwede na. It won't kill the enzymes anymore. But if you're going to put boiling water, hindi mo rin naman maiinom, pinatay mo pa yung enzymes. What's the point?
Nasayang na
Diba?
yung barley.
Yes,
Ayan,
patay
so,
useless.
may next
So,
question po
actually,
dito.
I noticed ako
Yes, sir.
personally, anak, I prefer my barley with ice.
Mm.
I don't know why. I like it with ice.
Ako
Kahit
din.
naman yung baso, kahit one ice cube lang, I'll leave it to melt. Ang sarap kaya. Diba? I mean, me kasi, that's how I like it. So, kanya-kanya naman. So, I guess if you like it hot, take it hot, pero at least not boiling water. Yung lukewarm, yung parang kape, di ba? Pag nagkape ka naman, hindi naman yung to the point na mapapaso yung bibig mo. Di ba? So, just wait until it's drinkable and then take it. Yeah. This is a good question, the next one, anak.
Yes po. Miss Maritoni, curious po ako. 19 years cancer-free kayo, pero kung hindi po kayo nakakakamali, sa IMS 3 years pa lang po. So, ang barley na iniinom nyo dati, saan po galing?
Ito po ang barley na iniinom ko. Ang nangyari po dyan is simple. 20 na 20 years na po. 20 years ago, when I was diagnosed, I first bought from where I was being treated. And then when I came back to the Philippines, which was 2001, nag-research na ako kung saan ako pwedeng bumili ng barley na pinakamura, pinaka-effective, at the best in the world. Doon ko nahanap yung supplier natin today. Now, that supplier of mine has been my partner for this long already. Okay? Kaya nga tayo nakakuha ng exclusivity sa kanila dahil ganun katagal ko na silang ka-partner. Okay? Now, 3 years pa lang ang I Am Worldwide. Oo. Pero ako, 19 years ko na silang partners. So, nung tinayo ang I Am Worldwide, partners ko ang mga owners ng I Am Worldwide. So, of course, where will they get their barley? From the barley queen.
Yeah.
Diba? That's why a lot of people say, kiniklaim nila sila ang original barley sa Pilipinas. Talagang original barley ang I Am sa Pilipinas.
Live?
So I think, anak, that actually is a very good question kasi minsan maraming pilosopo, diba, sa buhay. Sinasabi nila nga ganyan na, paano kayo naging una? 3 years old pa lang kayo, kami 12 years old na or whatever. O siguro yung kumpanya baby pa lang. Pero yung produkto ng I Am Worldwide is 20 years na by this year. In fact, longer because even during my chemo, I was already taking that barley. It was just not from actually yung from this supplier mismo was since 2001. So that is how old our barley is already.
So halos 20 years of partnership na ba?
Yes.
Yeah. So next question po from...
Before naman I Am Worldwide, Herbal was already in all the drugstores. You know that, diba? Everybody knows that. That is the same barley that we use. It's just a different... Yung barley lang natin is pure.
Yeah. I remember diba? Yung dati, yung sa, may protein po yun, Miss Maritoni.
Yes, may milk protein.
Yeah, milk protein.
Right.
So this time, it's pure barley powder.
This time it's pure. Wala nang mix.
Okay lang po ba we get another last question po before
of course. Go ahead.
And I think very interesting tong question niya. From Hasmin, amazing morning po. 20 years na po yung barley. Kayong barley user, bakit parang yung Santi barley yung nauunang lumalabas sa Pilipinas at lagi na lang tanong anong pagkakaiba natin sa kanila at nagpapakilala ng difference sa price sa atin?
Medyo controversial, gano'n. Okay, ang truth niyan is ganito. Okay, sasabihin ko na once and for all. Nung nag-umpisa ang Sante Barley, ako ang approach nila with regard to their supplies for barley. Wala pang IAM noon, wala pa nung previous company rin na sinuplayan natin, which was under also sila AM and ANA, no, and ICA. During that time, they approached me because they found out that I basically am the cancer survivor. Ako yung nagdala ng barley sa Pilipinas. So, actually, nagkaroon kami ng understanding na ako yung magsusupply sa kanila. And for the first 2 years of Sunday, ako yung nagsusupply ng barley nila. So, that is actually very true. Now, after 2 years, they decided to try to go directly to the supplier. Okay? Now, when they went directly to the supplier, hindi nila ma-penetrate ang supplier ko sa Australia because I have an exclusive contract. In short, they tried to overstep me. Okay? Bad ethics yun. Actually, unethical yung ginawa nila. Pero sinubukan nilang gawin. Okay? In short, ayaw nilang dumaan na sa akin. Gusto nila diretso na. Na-block sila kasi nga meron akong distributors agreement with the owners in Australia. So that is why I stopped supplying them and they went directly to New Zealand. Okay? So now you know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Pero, ang nakakatawa dyan is up to today, their distributors still use me in their videos and in trying to sell their products. Many times I've asked the owners to control their network members, but it seems they cannot control them. Ngayon, ang sa akin naman, bahala na si Lord sa kanila. Dahil alam naman natin lahat na dito lang ako sa IAM lumalabas at nagwi-witness and testimony ko. So, we all know the truth, including the owners of Sante, what happened, which is why I no longer supply them. I don't want to look for any drama, but that is the honest to goodness truth. So, let's leave it at that. Okay? Besides, just keep in mind always that health is wealth, so invest in your health. Okay? God bless you all. Drinking your barley every day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maritoni Fernandez, our barley queen.